Hello friends, welcome to my channel and thanks for watching this video. As we have ended one more trading week, so welcome to another session of USA Weekly Market Report, where we have seen some extremely volatile things that's been happening in the market, and the overall indices along with other financial instruments, as you're talking about the dollar index or you're talking about the oil, you're talking about the rest of the commodities are moving quite a gusto, and there are some good or bad or uncertain economic events which is yet to be seen. So let's discuss some of the major economic events, or let's discuss some of the important news, I would say, that may impact stocks going forward or overall market next week. Now we have seen a sharp decline in oil prices, even though for the short term, and it is happening because, as you can see on lockdown worries, because Austria enters into the lockdown, and there are this is just about sentimental factor that the basic thing is the overall demand may come down, but we have to see this thing. And most importantly, because we are entering into a holiday season, a winter holiday season, and this is officially winter months, and harsh winter is yet to be seen. So energy consumption is the key, and in extreme cold condition, energy consumption will definitely be on the upside. So how this is going to help us instead of this lockdown, that is a thing which yet to be seen over here. Apart from that, uh, let's see what's there as far as the news is concerned. Now Apple with their self-building cars by 2025, this may be one of the reason, but when a company at such a level, trading a momentum in short term doesn't matter. Just correlating it with the one day trading move is not justifiable. The overall trend is anyhow up. Then we have Nvidia, and the company has recently reported some good numbers. Basically, chip maker companies are now making huge amount of profit. This is just uh, a blessing in disguise, I would say, that has happened for the entire sector, and they are now having the attention of all the global economies, or all the, it doesn't matter whether you are developed or developing countries, because if you are driven by a society driven by technology, require chips. That's it. So these are some important things that you need to look at. Apart from that, the very important indicator which will definitely drive the market, and more specifically when the dollar index is very strong. So the news about the next Fed chairperson, and probably it will happen next week, because let me show you. So Biden has a major economic decision to make, and he can't seem to pull the trigger. So as you can see, the decision would be soon. That then it was imminent. At one point it was slated to come in 4 days. Now it will be Thanksgiving maybe. So there is a decision which is pending for the next chairperson for Fed, and whether it's going to be Jerome Powell, or it will be replaced by Lial Bernard. That we have to see. We have to be seen. But obviously, Lial Bernard, she is a market, projecting herself as a much dovish person compared to Jerome Powell, because we know his actions in the past, in the last couple of years. But as far as change is concerned, uh, because she is in favor of the current stimulus that's been going on, and that's why you will see a major shift as far as the currency is concerned. And if the dollar index move after the Fed's decision, it's going to be on the downside. So stock market will definitely react in a certain way. So we have 3 4 days to go. Next Thursday, I think 25th is the Thanksgiving Day. So probably you will get the decision before or at least on that day, or maybe the next Thursday or Friday. So next Thursday and Friday is going to be very important as far as the stock market is concerned. Now let's go and see how the overall market has reacted, because you can see some very sharp moves on both the side. NASDAQ ended in a green, whereas Dow Jones ended in red, and with a deep cut, I would say 268 points. And recently it has touched 36,000, so it's nearly 400 points fall within a week. Apart from that, US 10-year yield, this has fallen a bit. I won't say this fallen a lot, but a bit. But overall, trend is stable. The VIX has again started moving up. So, I mean, if there is anything which is dovish, obviously you will see a very sharp move, and that's what it is indicating. And if you just focusing on VIX, it will indicate volatility and caution on both the end. Okay, even if you're short or long, it doesn't matter, because volatility can cut both the ways. That's the important thing. Natural gas, one must look at the price of natural gas, and it has again started moving up. And in winter season, natural gas is one of the used commodities, so one have to be very much cautious about it. Apart from this, we have USD dollar index, and as you can see, it has already closed above 96. So dollar index is reacting very strongly. So we have to see what's going to happen, because it doesn't matter how the stock market is reacting for the time being, but the major concentration should be on dollar index. I have said this thing in my last week's market report, USA market report, and I will reiterate the same thing here, that any big and swift change in dollar index could definitely drive the overall stock market. So for the time being, if dollar index is strong, we definitely have the repercussions on the stock market, and that we have started watching. But next 4 or 5 days would be crucial and will decide the overall market trend going forward and in 2022. Right now, let's start with the dollar index itself, because it is the important one. And as you can see over here, so the dollar index has been moving quite sharply, and the move is quite, I would say, very bullish move. And technically, it doesn't matter what's happening, what's the reasoning behind this, but technically, dollar index is moving very sharply, and you could probably see that from the lower end of the range, we are definitely visit the higher end of the range. So there is a potential or possibility for that, right? So what we have here is 89.62 and 88.36, and if you are looking at the middle section, which the dollar index has already crossed, right? So you have 94.88 and you have 92.98. So this is the middle section. So the upper end of the range that we are looking here will be 100.5 and 103. So the kind of move we have here, 100 is definitely be a possibility. So be sure for some, even in short term correction, but some sharp corrections going forward. So be very much ready for that. Right now, talking about natural gas, because it has again started moving higher. So natural gas, if it sustains above 4.65 or 4.7, right? So if it sustains above this level, we have a range in between which it is moving. Here we are. So this is the range in between which price of natural gas is moving. On the downside, you have a support of 4.65, and on the upside, you have 6.16, and the higher end of the range is 6.58 or 6.6. And beyond 6.6, we will have a very sharp move. So for the time being, we will just focus in between 4.65 and 6.6, and we will reanalyze the trend, either in case of a breakout or a breakdown. But this is also define something very important going forward. Now we have seen price correction in Brent crude. So this is the chart of crude, and let's see what's happening over here, WTI futures. And there is a correction that's been going on, and from the highs of $85, so this is the futures chart. It is now trading at $76. So there is a $9 move, and it matters a lot. But if you are looking at the trend, if a correction has started, then obviously it will not stop until and unless it finds a reasonable support. So as far as the support level or range is concerned, you have 64.83 as your big support, and on the upside you have 88 and 90 on the upside. So this is what we are looking here as far as the trend or range is concerned. And probably if the WTI crude future has to go towards 65, then obviously it will have a positive impact on almost all the companies, and a majority of good movement you will see in the stock market, because most of the companies have a direct or indirect correlation with oil and oil related products. So this is a very important thing that's been happening, and it will definitely have a good impact on the companies going forward. Now coming on to the index, so the first one is the Dow Jones, and Dow Jones has started correcting. uh, Actually it should not, but it is correcting. That's the thing. So what we have here as far as the trend is concerned is something like this. So this is the upper end of the range, and here we have the lower end of the range. So this is the current trend for dollar index, current trend or range, and you will find two important support levels. Here we are, right? So the support levels we are looking here is in between 34,357 and 34,116, and on the upside you have your resistance in between 36,700 and 36,900. Right now it is in correction modes, and this is what we are expecting as far as the range is concerned. Now NASDAQ is looking far more optimistic when compared to Dow Jones. And as you can see, whether you have a correction here, no doubt you have some correction, but the overall move is positive. So as you can see the trend line, the overall move or the trend is intact, and it is for the 1 hour chart. And as you can see, if it holds above, the support you have here is 15,950, and the way the stock is moving, and the way it is holding its trend, it will definitely move. If the trend sustain, it will definitely move towards 16,800 and 17,000. So you have further legs on the upside as far as the NASDAQ is concerned, and this will get verified next week, and it will come with the decision what Fed is thinking and who is going to be the next leader as far as the USA central bank is concerned. Now, another important thing apart from the chart but about the market is the overall market we are into. So, we are already heading towards the winter holidays, and for the next 2 months at least, okay, for the month of whatever days we have left in the month of November, entire December, and the first, at least the first week of January or till January 10th, we have very less volumes in the market because most of the people, whether you're talking about individual HNIs, institutions, funds, companies, everybody is in holiday mode, and where most of the employees or most of everybody is human, so they are in holiday, so volume will be very less. So whatever moves will happen, there is no justification for that, and sometime it may or may not sustain. So be very careful with that. Don't take anything. If you understand something, if it is for the long term, that's a different thing. But we have Santa rally, that's also a thing in the month of December, or before people started moving towards the holiday season. So that is one factor that is probably driving the market, or that will provide that will definitely drive the market if there is a change in the Fed. If it depends upon the US president and how he is thinking for the next Fed chairperson, and it will definitely trigger a Santa rally or not. It's completely dependent on his decision. So we have to wait. But anyhow, this is a fact that volume will be less in the next 2.5 months. So be very specific. If you want to choose something for long term, that's a different thing. But for short term trades, you should know your levels very much. Now, as a summary, I would definitely say that NASDAQ is showing something or is saying something which we have to understand, because NASDAQ is a high beta index, and if it is taking a leap forward and thinking that there is something positive coming as far as the market is concerned, and that's why it has started moving, then we have to understand these things, and rest we have to wait for the next week, because the Fed chairperson meet, I'm saying it again and again, will definitely have a big impact as far as the market next week, or you're talking about the Santa rally and more specifically 2022 is concerned. So this is the end of the video. If you like this content, do share your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe my channel. Lastly, take care of your family and friends.